One was won by Ninja the Pyjamas off of a last pick. Meepo, game 3 it seems. NiP are going to be trying to change things up with the last pick Lone Druid instead. And Blitz, how do you feel about this Lone Druid? Because it seems like our panelists really supported it.
Oh, I think it's a very interesting pick. For PSG.LGD to get into backlines, like it's not easy for those two heroes because they're very squishy against the Lone Druid.
Yeah.
To like actually cut the gap against them, which is why, you know, PSG.LGD, like, they've just been picking Storm every game. So that hero just gets to every backline, regardless of whether they're winning or losing. Like, they like that hero, and this game around, they're going to have to do very well in the laning phase, I feel. Because I do like NiP's draft quite a bit. I think this is probably, aside from game 1, one of the better drafts that I've seen them pick into. But, I mean, PSG.LGD, I feel like regardless of situations, there's no pushover. Like, I felt like they got pretty outdrafted in game number 1, but they still made it a very close game.
Yeah, they certainly did. They start things off a little right here as they do get 3 bounty runes. Not going to get a first blood on Bane, but they will get a lot of damage from Chalice. So it looks like they are going to try and run a safe lane Furion and match that into the Lone Druid, but 33 has already made his way down to bottom. And I believe this is the matchup they want, right? Against the Ember Spirit. Doesn't have a great way to be able to deal with the bear. And so immediately the Ember Spirit's going to TP up to top now. You saw the TP was used on the bear, so feeling like he can actually do this.
I do like that they're kicking it old school, by the way, and having 33 back on this like micro-esque hero.
Yeah.
Like he's really well known for his Lycan, his Visage especially. That was like their pocket pick all of last year. This time around, it's going to be the Lone Druid as 33 gets out of there. And they want to make sure that they're matching the TB against the Nature's Prophet, I feel. Like that's a free matchup for the TB. He's just going to farm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, both the matchups are really good, right? Like, you want the Lone Druid against the Ember, you want the TB against the Furion. And so it's a big loss for LGD, the fact that they have lost in the rotation war. They were the ones who had to blink first. They were the ones who, TP'd out first. And now they're going to be stuck in lanes that are not super favorable for them, but maybe just purely through outplay, they can still manage to win the laning phase. As you said, they almost managed to do it in game 1.
I'm not sure, though, like, if Ace loves this lane, just because we saw what his PL looked like. But I think TB, as weird as it sounds, like, has the potential to be more aggressive as Saksa just barely dodges that, and he's just running circles around them with Napalm. Got to be a little bit careful, though, as he is getting quite low as Ember Spirit.
Trying to go for the bear. It's quite low. He's actually going to be feared away underneath his tier 1 tower. Takes a good amount of damage. And doesn't get that 200 bounty that he was looking for.
Would have been a pretty good start for him. I mean, it's pretty much it's better than a hero kill in most cases, unless it's first blood.
Yeah.
Especially this early on.
And we talked about the side lanes. What about our mid matchup? Oh, wait, hold on. Saksa trying to go for the kill here on FY, but a lucky shot proc immediately from FY slows down Saksa.
FY is trying to bait him in. If they got like 2 more right clicks and then he goes to the lucky, the swashbuckle, I think that's actually a kill. As we finally see Queen of Pain versus Razor, by the way. This hero has been denied almost every single time Razor's been picked, right?
Yeah.
People pick it in the second pick is Saksa, in fact, does die, but was a suicide.
And something similar is going to happen here in top lane. A real suicide from X-Nova, denying himself with the Misquell. But this is a bad matchup, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. You get harassed pretty hard. You can never get static link going for more than like a second. It's very disincentivized for Razors to level it, just because you're not going to get either your W or your E off onto her.
How does Lone Druid match against Queen of Pain? Because I thought for a moment when they last picked it, I thought they were going to switch the lanes, do side lane Razor and mid Lone Druid.
Yeah, I thought so too for a second. And it would have been fine, I believe, against most of the matchups. Maybe not against like Nature's Prophet plus Pango, but
But if you get the Razor versus Ember, you'd be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, Razor against most melee heroes you'll feel really good about.
Yeah. But as it is, maybe it's...
Oh, look at this. So Chalice is just fighting because he sees that Saksa has no regen, and even if he commits to the fight, he's got Blightstone, and he knows he TP'd down here, so Saksa's game is kind of slowed down quite badly. Like, you see that he has 25 seconds on his TP. He's just going to have to go back. He won't be here in time for the bounty rune, which is a big thing too, which is probably going to secure FY the 2 bounty runes at bottom.
So instead, he's going to try and have an impact on the lane by pulling. Other than that, 28 right now for the Queen of Pain, 20 and 13 for the Furion. Furion's doing pretty well for himself, and he's even shutting down the CS of the Terrorblade. It was only 13 and 1, so this lane's actually going a lot better than we expected.
Really, unfortunately for NiP, is they do pick up the regen rune onto the Pango, makes the laning phase just that much easier. Ame continues to be relatively untouched. X-Nova gets another suicide off.
5-minute bounties. We are going to have Soxa picking up one of these on the right-hand side of the map, which means that NiP probably should get 3. And they do. This hard cam stack. A lot of golden experience to be found here. Having used the Swashbuckle, kind of an interesting choice by FY. And I say interesting, I mean a killer choice. He ends up dying, giving away first blood to Ace. We had yet to have a first blood because we'd only had these denies.
I was so surprised that he decided to use that there. He had to have known that was like a dead scenario. But FY went for it anyways. That was just very greedy. Like the laning phase I felt like was really in their favor before. And now you sort of just give away first blood. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but just kind of a surprising choice.
I mean, he could have just done it in so many different ways too, right? He could have done a maxed range Swashbuckle to try and take the CS. At
Instead,
least
he went
some
into
distance.
the creep wave.
Yeah, he just went right on top of the Batrider almost with sticky napalm stacks, and now no longer have an escape mechanism. Lucky shot proc onto Ace is going to be able to help get some extra damage here by slowing him down.
And FY might go for it again. There's no salve.
Really thinking about it here. They're going to be able to find him to teleport in. He thought he juked to the right-hand side, but they will be able to find him. Really good positioning. It's not quite enough with Swashbuckle, though. He will finally get the kill, but he's going to be run down by Soxa here, who's going to try and kill FY, and may still be able to turn for Chalice as well. A little bit surprised Chalice wants to fight at all, and that's why he TP's away. He realizes that's not an engagement they can take anymore.
And that does hurt Chalice's game a little bit because you remember he used the TP to go find the teleport or the Terrorblade.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, so now he has to walk all the way back down. Does have phase boots, but so far so good. Although this Lone Druid's getting absolute farm. Like 33's been completely untouched. And I think this is a lane where you can't really punish the Lone Druid. Like the way that you punish Lone Druid is you get offensive on him.
Nice, you see that?
Yeah.
Use the roar to secure the deny on the Siege Wagon. Oh! PBD was so close to being able to get the kill on X-Nova. The 3rd or 4th deny from this Abad now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Bada in some serious trouble. His lane was already terrible. Now there is an opportunity for Chalice to teleport in and help get a kill. That's going to be rough. I mean, this Razor's 26 and 7 now compared to 39 and 14. And I really don't believe that Razor's the kind of hero that can have a rough laning phase unless you go for that maxed out passive build that lets you farm up the jungle a ton.
And I kind of feel for Fada because I feel like he's been put into 3 losing lanes.
Yeah.
And this lane, I know a lot of people give him flack for it, but this isn't a winnable lane. Razor versus Queen of Pain. Like the Queen of Pain feels very comfortable because you have no way of killing her whatsoever. You out harass him. Soxa gonna get disarmed.
Chalice is taking a lot of damage here. Soxa needs to retreat to the trees. FY does not shield crash into the high ground.
He should go down here.
Yeah, the Quap is going to be able to catch him eventually. He does have 9 magic stick charges, but now he's run out of the Firefly. Oh, towards bottom. Ame is going to be caught by Roots here. Can he get another one, though? Ame is so low with the medallion, so much minus armor. Finally, the Batrider does take out, and the Queen of Pain can help join defend this Ember Spirit, so it's going to be okay. Ace, meanwhile, has left his lane. Looking to push top, hoping to be able to secure the same kind of advantage that NiP had in Game 1, where they were able to take towers and simultaneously defend them. Led to a pretty large tower lead and net worth advantage for NiP in that Game 1.
I see a lot of people go for this medallion build lately, by the way.
Yeah.
On the Lone Druid. I mean, it just makes you a little bit tankier, makes your bear a little bit better. It gives you Roche potential. And I think it just helps your TV a lot. Like eventually, if you go Solar Crest on your TB, he's gonna be an absolute beast.
I like the defensive aspect of the item. Like, there's very clear situations where you're using it offensively when the bear's just chasing somebody down, and then also just passively being able to have that item will significantly increase the tankiness of your hero Lone Druid if the enemy team should try and go on you. Perhaps giving you enough time to be able to get off that roar. 2-4 right now. Ninjas the Pyjamas squatting up here in the top lane, making sure they do not give a tower away to LGD. LGD's lineup is very, very fast-paced. It is a tempo-focused lineup that is looking to be able to take a lot of mid-game fights against you. Why do you think LGD chose a lineup like this?
I think it just fit the situation. Like the heroes that they happen to get.
Yeah.
It's like you got Razor, so you got Queen of Pain. They really like this Pangolier on FY, it seems. You just won with it. And you wanted some sort of gap closer on maybe or Ame. So they take the Ember Spirit, which is like similar to what they had in the Morph slash the Storm Spirit. Like they want like these 2 mobile cores, I feel. They really like that setup that they've got going on right now. 2 mobile cores that can move around the map freely, that can stop split push. It's just like a good all-around situation, I think. And you can see that they commit a lot to this like global presence. They really like the Nature's Prophet with this type of lineup as they're going to make the move onto 33.
33. It's very, very dead here. Sonic Wave pushing back PPD as well and getting him a little bit low. He's going to go for the TP out. Is there a chains? There is nothing.
So he's going to be just fine, but the bigger pickup, of course, on the Lone Druid end. And I still sort of feel like this TB could potentially just win the game for them.
Yeah.
I think he is the best late game hero here.
Oh, for sure. LGD's lineup. How much forgiveness do you think LGD's lineup does have? It looks to me like one of those lineups you have to play pretty perfectly.
Yeah, I agree. I really agreed with Grant's assessment of this, where he was like, if he dies multiple times and he has a hard lane.
Oh, a Fiend's Grip, and that may be one of these deaths here is that long-term disable.
Nice
There's no
sprout.
Aphotic Shield just yet, but he is relatively tanky. The Fear comes out now. Next Nova getting a position for another round of the Mistcoil, and Ame is going to be safe here, but X Nova himself may end up dying, and he's unable to get a Mistcoil denied this time around.
That was a fantastic sprout. It saved him from getting hit by the bear as well.
Yeah.
So most likely saving his life there, preventing, like, what if he gets rooted there too?
Radiant's top tower has been denied.
Very good timing by PVD though, right after the shield had hit, so there was no way to cancel it anyways. And if you look at PSG.LGD's lineup, there's not a whole lot of stuns.
Yeah. It's a little greedy here. Forward position going for a Boots of Travel too, by the way.
I mean, I could just definitely see NiP winning this game. I don't think it's going to be easy for them because they're getting hurt in the laning phase right now. And
thinking about the Rolling Thunder, goes the other direction. Actually, he tried to chase after Fada, but couldn't actually get that corner. The angle was wrong. He said he's going to roll over and nail PPD twice.
Maybe they get this mid tower though, and that would be the bigger bounty than just killing a Razor.
Certainly, Lone Druid does manage to take the safe lane tower. Maybe he'll be able to get here in time to defend this tier 1. Sticky Napalm stacks have begun. They're going to be able to get a good plasma field. It's already procs to borrow time. The Aphotic Shield removing that lasso almost immediately.
I love that maybe
will be fine.
He didn't panic at all.
Yeah.
He had blink up, but it's only level 1 blink. So if he commits it, then he has no way of getting back into the fight potentially. He knows that he's going to get grabbed there, but he trusts that X Nova, who I think, as 5 goes, he's so mechanically gifted. He's not going to miss that.
Yeah, he is super reliable. I feel like X Nova's one of his greatest traits is just positioning. That's why his Bane and Disruptor look so good. And playing a hero like Abaddon, there's a lot more forgiveness when it comes to your positioning and team fights and such, but still got to make sure you're close enough to get off that Aphotic Shield, remove the Fiend's Grip or the Lasso.
I do think they're going to fight sooner than you expect. Not you in particular.
On NiP?
Yeah, because they're building straight up Solar Crest on this Lone Druid. And I think the main reason you do that is to power creep your TB.
It'll make Fada as well as even just the Bear feel a lot better as well. These are definitely some early items and an early stat-focused build so far on our Terrorblade, which is going multiple Wraith Bands into an SNY. Just got to complete the drums first.
Yeah, going for drums SNY tells me that Ace is down to fight right now. Like, they want to get into these early engagements. They think they can win them. And I think they might actually be right. TB with drums plus SNY and being Solar Crested, they'll do things real quick. They'll take objectives fast. Roshan will be theirs.
Wrapping in from the right-hand side here. There's a lot of NiP members. If they can get a bolt here, the Razor, they're going to go onto him first. Fada is already at half HP. Well, 33 has already knocked down the Queen of Pain. What a big kill. And Fada's so fast, he's been beginning to get away, but Ame is going to be able to chase him down with Remnants, manage to get the chains, and finishes off that big Razor kill. Xnova is low. He's underneath the fire, tries to get the miscoil denied, successfully gets it, but the pullback onto Chalice will ensure that kill. 4 dead on the side of LGD. 3 of them were kills. 1 of them was a deny.
That was so well done by PPD. Stopping the Pango Ball, that would have surely killed the Razor, and then PSG.LGD don't have to commit so hard to that back line.
Yeah.
You saw they kind of just filtered in, all in for that, and it's not really a great position to be stuck between a tier 1 and a tier 2. I could very well see NiP just going for Roshan here too, with the medallion, but just gonna back up, secure bounty runes instead.
Managed to get 1 of the bounty runes, the other 3. Peter is also going to be a bounty here, it seems.
I mean, I could definitely see, I really like NiP's lineup. I could definitely see them winning this game because I feel like that's how fights are often going to look, with the TV just kind of hitting away. Lone Druid in the front, they have 3 really tanky cores. They've got 2 crowd control supports. They don't have like the best AoE disable that I've ever seen. That's probably the thing that's most lacking, or the best like AoE damage. But their single target is sick.
Yeah. And as you said, like not having a whole lot of control on the side of LGD just means this TB is able to fight a lot earlier because he can rely on the Sunder.
The only thing that really stops him is the Pango Ball.
Yeah.
And that's why I was so impressed by PPD's move, because he could have gripped anyone at that point, but he all-ins on FY.
Got to be able to catch Fada here. Fada. Now he's been dying a lot in this series. Not gonna quibble about it too much. He's just been pretty low impact because of his low net worth. Is there something about his play that is doing this? Is he like split pushing super aggressively to buy NiP space? Like what's going on here?
This has always just been, and I know this sounds like a cop-out, but I've been critical of him in the previous game, but I think in this one, it's a bit different. Like, he's almost always just that third core that sort of gets sacked.
Okay.
Like, his other 2 cores were able to have good lanes. He was a Razor against a Queen of Pain. He got ganked twice. Where is he really going to be? You're not going to prioritize this farm over the Lone Druid, who's really close to the Solar Crest, or the TB, who's your real win condition. So I know a lot of people baseline look at this game and say, like, Fada's feeding away, but somebody has to push in that top lane and create pressure on the map. You can't just have multiple heroes hitting the jungle. And that's why Soxa right now, he pulled the mid wave to try to create some pressure on the map. He's go
he really does it in a beautiful way. He actually gets out.
Yeah, and that's essentially what the Razor's trying to do. It's just Razor's a different hero because he doesn't have that escape ability.
Yeah.
But this is what's allowing Ace to be able to farm, and it prevents them from going for smokes.
Yeah.
By doing these plays, because you'll go for the obvious targets on the map, and as a result, like Ace is being able to hit Ancients. He's almost 1,000 net worth ahead of everybody else. The Razor, his game doesn't really matter. It's like that game we saw Vici versus Liquid, where Matuma Man's game was terrible, but realistically what you're looking for is just static link. And it's not even like he's got great static link targets in this game.
Yeah.
Everybody has a way to disengage off of him. But this is what NiP can do with their lineup.
Oh, this is
the
so
early
sick.
Solar Crest, the Terror Blade, this is what we were looking for once they took the mid-tier 1 tower. I think this is just a free play for them to make. And now Ace is the absolute unquestioned king on this map, as it should be.
PSG.LGD are just going to go for the deep dive here. Soxa has been a pain in their rear this entire time. He already caught 1 of the creep waves. They say no more of that. We know you took Roshan, so you can't be here. We'll just dive you, get the kill, and see if we can get some damage on this tier 2. But the rotations are coming, and they can't really go on this Lone Druid first with his Solar Crest build and already in melee form. He's like a perfect hero to TP in first. He's way too tanky to go on.
Yeah. I think for, FY,
they can actually,
he's rolling it up.
They don't have the Metamorphosis, so it's not like NiP is that good at fighting right now, especially if they can get to the back line, and Peter Pan Dam is going to be the perfect target to be able to wipe out first. Xnova is forced to pop his borrowed time here, but the roll-in coming out from FY nails that TB at just the right time, but it is going to be the Aegis, 33, using his bear to go on to the Queen of Pain. Solar Crest activated. The Rolling Thunder does manage to bounce back to the TB, trying to get a target here for the Sunder, can't quite get it up. Finally, Sunder's the last second to be able to keep himself alive off of Soxa, it seems. But FY Tries to swashbuckle, finish off the, oh, he almost got him with the Shadow Strike. It looks like Soxa may end up dying here to the tick damage. It's not quite enough, and now he's getting bottled up, but no. 33 says, come here, buddy. Let my bear give you a big ol' hug.
And a 3-for-1 in a situation where your TB couldn't hit at all. Because 33, even with this like supportive type build, is just very strong. You saw, by the way, PSG.LGD, the way they set up this fight, they all in for PPD. They don't want him to grip the Pango the second time around. But again, it's just these deep dives that they feel they have to make.
Yeah. They're so pressured because their lineup just doesn't scale at all. Meanwhile, NiP's obviously scales incredibly well. And so many of these squishy heroes, I mean, that last pick, Lone Druid, the panel said it, they're like, this hero's gonna be so good. You see that last Sunder, jeez. Just got him barely over the line of where the Sonic Wave would have killed him.
Still just barely a 1K lead, and a few bounty runes will change that here.
Yeah.
And without the Aegis, I think they'll be a little bit more aware of taking these fights and a little bit more scared.
Gold is a great conductor.
For PSG.LGD, you have to take smarter fights. Don't overcommit in the backline like that. I have to imagine that there's a better way for them to set up those engagements.
Yeah.
And if you are going to go for those engagements, you have to prioritize taking the towers first.
LGD, it's 20 minutes in. Everyone kind of agreeing that their lineup does need to play fast at this point. This is going to be one of their bigger power spikes, so going to play aggressively here at bottom. Look to finish off this tier 2.
And they definitely have to play fast. You look at X-Nova, who he's got a hope of boots.
Someday he's going to give that horse he's riding on some horseshoes. 33, maybe losing his bear here. That won't be a bad bounty for them to be able to pick up 300 gold for maybe. Borrow time is going to be popped, though, and NiP are thinking they can actually take this fight now. As Lasso onto the 5 position, that's going to be an easy one. Chalice does manage to TP way in time, and the mobile heroes of both the Queen of Pain and this Pangolier should be fine.
I'm surprised they went to the left. I think if they went to the right, they would have collapsed on them.
Yeah.
But they're still going for it.
And FY. Gonna be feared up. He does have, okay, the Rod of Oitos to be able to lock him down. Bane. Looks like Peter just getting in a bit out of position there, trying to cut some heroes off and ends up dying to maybe now they can turn things around. Is okay, immediately blinking away from that Link, and FY bouncing around with his Rolling Thunder, but has to be able to stay away from the Terrorblade, who does way too much physical damage. Soxa is still trying to chase him here, does get a little bit of fire damage. FY panicking a bit. Ooh, that's going to be a good opportunity here if they can actually finish him off with a Sonic Wave. A pick off on Soxa, who does have a decent amount of farm here. That's not a bad kill to get.
Yeah, just getting kited a little bit too hard. I mean, the decision to go for the left, they split up way too hard in that engagement too. You saw Soxa play to the right. PPD played all the way to the left and around. He got caught out by himself. They have to be a little bit more aware than that.
And LGD is now, as a result of some of these small little pickoffs and stuff, are getting some items that will help them a lot against the Terrorblade and the Lone Druid. I just saw a plate now on the Queen of Pain. There's going to be the Vlad's complete, so we now have a bit of armor aura coming from this Furion as well.
The Radiance.
And that Radiance?
Yeah, the Radiance on the Ember, I think, will make some difference.
Super close to being done. That'll certainly be a big increase in damage as well as that miss percentage chance.
It'll help with the poke too. That's how you want to play against a TB. It's just like consistently poke him and force him to use really inefficient Sunders.
And you say that, you're saying how to play it with this kind of lineup, right? Where it doesn't have like heavy disables to lay into him.
Yeah, normally if you have like tons of stuns, then the situation's a bit different. But once he gets BKB, there's literally nothing that goes through that on the side of PSG.LGD. It's not like anybody on their team, aside from maybe like the Pango, if it goes like 90 minutes, will get a Basher with an Abyssal or something.
Yeah.
Maybe the Nature's Prophet will get a Hex, but like actual BKB clearing abilities do not exist for them. So they need the ability to just like poke, force inefficient BKBs, get out, reset the fight, and then turn on a dime like they did near the bottom lane. I
see exactly what you're talking about as the way the Razor and the Batrider have to play, because all the time, I'm looking at the map, and I'm sure the heat map would show it too. These teal as well as yellow, the Lone Druid and the Terrorblade, just always playing in some area of the jungle. And it's up to these other, the forward position and the I guess effectively the 3 is the Razor.
Yeah, look,
has
the
to push
bottom-
out these lanes.
The bottom laning phase, and then you see the top triangle. Like, he's not really focusing his time pushing out the waves. And he can't really, when his illusions don't have drums, like, just the treads alone, I think, isn't very scary on the map. It just dies in 2 seconds.
Yeah. It's a good rune for a Bat Rider anyway.
I wonder where Sox is going to go. Just because, I mean, he'll get the blink, I guess, but it doesn't feel that great because there's so many ways to cancel his ulti.
Yeah, and he's probably not going to feel like he's going to get super good lassos until he has like a 4-staff, because there's always going to be X Nova ready to go with the Ephonic Shield. You have to be able to move super fast to stop that counter. He goes to push out the top lane. It's 10-13 right now, with the net worth being pretty much dead even. The 25-minute bounties are coming up, and when's LGD's next spike? Because it does seem like they're okay to chill out. I thought with the Radiance coming in, I expected them to immediately just ball up and start running at some of NiP's heroes, but they're playing it pretty cool, just farming away.
I thought it would have been now, but you might as well wait for, like, the Greaves. But they have Radiance. A lot of this game will also come down to how you take the fight. I do
Okay.
think, for example, NiP have the advantage, but PSG.LGD also have really good teamfight heroes.
How does that fight look for LGD to win it?
Just keep poking, kill PPD off the bat, get rid of one of the big disables. If Saksa wastes his ult and X-Nova's in a good position to take it off, like, just sit behind your main core, sit behind your Queen of Pain and your Ember Spirit. Don't really care about Chalice. Just make sure that you purge off the ulti when that happens.
PPD killing a ward.
That is the best part of X-Nova's heroes in this game, is that all the disables are purge-offable.
Yeah.
Dispellable, I should say. There's a much easier way to say that.
And we're going to have another way to be able to dispel some disables with the Guardian Greaves complete for the Pango. That's another significant armor upgrade for LGD as well when it comes to these team fights. It is really nice because they just only have to focus on the physical damage that's coming out from NiP. There's very little magic damage. It's pretty much just the Bat Rider.
I'd love everyone to just get a Linken's, as maybe, I mean, he did commit the blink, but not enough range to catch up to him. I think if both the cores get Linken's, it's going to be really hard for them to die.
Yeah.
And that is how you turn this game back around on the side of PSG.LGD. This feels really close, just because PSG.LGD, they have the poke and one of their cores comes with the disable, but on the other side, you have a TB that's just going to get helped out so much by all these auras that they can provide for him. Like, I think this is still a 50-50 game, which is incredible because going into the series, I think a lot of people would have just, even before the tournament, they would have said, oh, if this is the position, NiP is going to get 2-0'd.
Yeah.
But they've put themselves with the draft into a winnable position.
I would also say sort of the opposite for just the way this draft looks. I would say if the net worth was even by 25 minutes, I would expect NiP to really be far ahead in that regard. But just looking at the itemization of LGD and realizing it's just all physical from NiP, seems like that LGD are pretty confident they can go a lot later. They are going to be able to go for the lasso here. Firefly's up, but there was no escaping because of that Flame Guard Radiance burn, always making sure the Blink Dagger was not available.
I wonder how Dota Plus favors this. Like the TB versus, it's 50-50 on the dot.
The Crimson Guard is almost complete. There just keeps on being in the next round of items for LGD, and I'm thinking like, okay, now they're going to fight. Maybe once they have the Crimson Guard, they will. There's the Guardian Greaves removing that Rod of Atos, being able to get out. They're just poking at Fada. They are going to have the Shivas coming in. Keep on poking at that Razor, just like you said.
Just never fully commit to the fight. If you do so, like somebody blinks in like that, and the TB's in a good position, you will die quite quickly.
Now they're a little bit separated, so the Ember can commit a bit more. The Rolling Thunder only really getting a bear here, and they're going to try and turn on a Chalice, but that's where that Ephonic Shield comes down. A starts laying in his damage. He activates his BKB, and the Fear actually running these heroes straight into the Terrorblade. That's a big opportunity, but they're both so mobile. The Razor is actually able to stay in range, trying to finish off X-Nova. He does have a borrowed time. Saksa slowing down these heroes, but LGD just doing a great job of disengaging. They forced out the Metamorphosis, forced out BKB usage as well, and they do manage to get out.
I have to imagine that the TB is the best late game hero in this game.
Yeah.
But we see their struggles right there. Like deciding to go for the Atos when you already only have single target spells versus the Abaddon. Plus, they have a Lotus Orb, I think, on the side of PSG.LGD.
Yes, they do
Yeah.
now with Ame.
So instead of going for a Linken's, he went for the Lotus. But it's realistically the same thing.
Yeah.
Literally no AoE stuns.
They're on the end of the Metamorphosis timing here, but there's no borrow time for this Abaddon, so he is going to be brought to his doom unless the Aphotic Shield can save him. He does actually get the deny. Meanwhile, a beautiful Sonic Wave that finishes up the Terrorblade as well as the Bane. 33 is going to use his Bear, and they actually get the Chains to stop his teleport. A massive fight for LGD as they're going to be able to bring down 3, head for a tier 2, and things just sped the hell up for LGD.
I guess it doesn't matter if you have the best late game if he can't actually get any of his damage out.
Yeah. That was just very well executed by PSG.LGD. Very surprised that NiP even tried to take it with the tail end of their Metamorphosis.
Yeah, that was the confusing part. They don't have meta, no BKB. You can just wait things out. You'll find better opportunities. And now this tower falling very quickly. And they're going to just...
They're just going to keep going.
They're going to go way up in net worth now.
20 seconds. Shrines are available, but they really want this melee barracks, and they're going to be able to have it. Rod of Atos locking down these 2 heroes, thanks to the Lotus Orb. And PSG.LGD, a pretty easy retreat for them here.
Sox is going to pick up some of the bounty runes, and they are chasing him.
They've got the vision. Pango, FY is trying to hit him. They do manage to get the shield. Oh, they don't! The Shivas was so close to him, as was the shield crash, but Soxa does manage to blink away ever so barely.
Everything whiffing there, but Sox's position in this game is so rough. Like, there's just, it feels like there's nothing for him to do.
Besides just kind of like run down lanes with Firefly over and over again.
Yeah, you see the difficulties when it comes to team fights.
Yeah.
Pulling back the Abaddon is pretty neat, like, but X-Nova's got the deny off, and he feels perfectly fine, I think, trading one of those big team fight ultis for his life. It's like 1 of 2 disables. Congrats.
Level 20 Ember Spirit. At one point, like, LGD have a very solid lead now. 6,000 net worth lead, have a mid lane of racks.
They just can't rest on the laurels.
Yeah.
Because the TB is still very scary, and that's why...
Gotta be careful of these sort of smoke rotations, but that was a big failure. First of all, they tried to go for a quap, but second of all, it was X-Nova right behind him.
Is under attack.
Link Dagger for the Pango. NiP are gonna try and sneak in a Roshan here once again. They did it once. Thanks to the Solar Crest and this heavy amount of physical damage, they do manage to get a successful scan here. And it's going to be a close call because the Ember is going to be filing into this pit. This could be disaster for NiP as the Roshan's about to be falling here. The Rolling Thunder is going to come in. Blink Dagger, FY is just going to roll right on in, trying to get the good shield crash in. Bouncing around these heroes, but the BKB activated by Ace just turning and trying to fight, laying out the damage on FY, but the shield crash is denying so much of that damage right now. Meanwhile, X-Nova pops his borrowed time, managed to heal up, back to full. The Roshan pit being controlled up by LGD, but they need to be able to win this fight. 33 is dropped so low.
They're
going into the back line with a Sonic Wave, nailing all 3 of those cores. Needs to be able to get off the Thunder. He's silenced up right now, and now he's cut down. LGD, 2 fights in a row now, and this is a big one, being able to deny the Roshan away from NiP and grab the Aegis for themselves. It looks like they just found Soxa as well, who's trying to get in, maybe inside the pit? I'm not
he's
sure
trying
what
to go
he's
for
doing.
a play right now.
Blink in. No, he's going to be chained up instead. They're going to make sure to kill him before the Roshan dies, so there's no chance in hell that the Aegis and Cheese can be snatched away.
And they're just getting run around. You saw in that pit fight, they used the BKBs to try to avoid the Pango ball, but that was all the time that PSG.LGD needed then to fight the TB, who has to be on the retreat without that BKB, and that win probability has taken a sharp dive.
You know, I would have been so antsy if I was on the side of LGD going like,
they're going for
guys.
both sides.
Yeah, they're actually maybe going for straight up megas. NiP, they've lost 2 fights in a row, a 3rd one, and they are definitely out of this game. They've only got 10 more seconds till the Terrorblade's back up, but bottom lane of Rax, it's pretty much gone already. In top lane, let's check in on that one because that is going to be the last remaining one for Ninja's Pyjamas. The tier 3 is already dead. 33 coming forward with Fodder with a plasma field out. Ame is going to be pushed away by that roar, not able to deal out his big physical damage. He's got a lot of good items for it to be able to hit some of these buildings. Chalice coming forward, trying to finish off 33's bear. Not able to quite get it, but it does push NiP back for the time being. And they can keep on forcing this. The Metamorphosis.
They have to commit.
Just not ready to go, and then melee barracks is going to fall just like that. Now it's just a ranged barracks. The side being used, but there is going to be the Nightmare on the right-hand side. The jump in from maybe go straight for the Batrider. Wants to be able to deny the big disable, but can't fully commit. Doesn't actually have the nukes available. Ame is going to drift in a little bit closer onto the Batrider with a Rolling Thunder going in, finishing off that Bat. Now trying to get the initiation on Ace, who's about half HP. They're not focusing on him, though. They're trying to finish off this Pango Ball, but they just bide their time. Now the Thunder goes down onto Ame, but the Terrorblade is dropping low. Scythe of Ice controlled up. They may be going into the back line, trying to deal with the Bane. He does manage to get him, but now he's locked down. Sonic Wave being prepped, pops the cheese. Is going to be roared up, but X-Nova is being able to keep everybody so healthy. Now the Sonic Wave comes in, finishing up Fada. NiP, they are hemmed in inside of their fountain. They're going to be losing up against Megas now as PSG.LGD will finish it off, try and get the roar. They will manage to get it onto Ame, stopping his teleport away, but they can't actually win a fight. As you could see, that maybe just jumps in fiercely with the Shivas going down. Ace is dropping low. They're trying to get the last bit of nuke damage before he can get to the fountain, and he's dead. He gets denied by Fada. Fada saying this game is over, killing his own allies as LGD march to victory here in Game 3.
Very well done by them. Utilizing the strength of their mobile core